Welcome back to another episode of Modern Beauty. My name is Amanda, for those of you who don't know me. Today, I think I'm going to do a little review for you guys. This is a review on a product that I have seen for a very long time, never purchased up until this point because it just was out of my budget, not in my price range, and I wasn't super interested in it to begin with until recently. And let me introduce to you what it was, and then I'll explain why I am interested in it. So this is what we're talking about, the Clarisonic. So the reason why I was interested in a Clarisonic all of a sudden is because of this guy right here. Forget the cleansing, it's an empty box, but there's still some shaky stuff in there. Still got some of the packaging. Anyway, so the reason why I was interested in getting a Clarisonic was because of this foundation brush. I had seen some other beauty gurus use it, and it looked really cool. And so I was thinking about other ways to apply foundation and kind of being a little more experimental. And so I was kind of looking at like an airbrush set, and I just decided that maybe I wanted to invest in a Clarisonic. So that's what I did. Although, when I say invest, I'm gonna be real with you guys here, I did not go out and purchase this from Clarisonic or from another store. I went to eBay because $1.99 is still a steep price tag, and I figured, hey, why not try it off eBay? And for those of you who are watching this and you're like, well, it's not authentic. Good point. That was definitely a concern, I'm not gonna lie, but I figured it was worth it, and with the eBay guarantee, I took the risk. Not saying it's a recommendation, that's just what I decided to do in order to try out this product. So, I had a big question because I knew I wanted a Clarisonic, but I didn't know which one I wanted, and so I was looking at, I think it was like, I'm gonna say Clarisonic Pro, and I don't even know if that's right anymore because I don't remember what, it was like one of the top of the line ones, and only certain Clarisonics actually can use all of the different brushes. So, so I was looking at that one, and then I couldn't find the most recent, the most updated version of it on eBay for a price that I wanted to spend on it. So then I started looking into this Mia Smart, and I like the idea that it's smart, that there's like a technology, that there's an app and stuff for it. So I was looking into that, and this seemed to be a lower price tag. I found it on eBay, and it seemed to have everything that I wanted or needed in a Clarisonic. So I think there's like a quiz on the Clarisonic website that you can take, because honestly it's quite confusing to be like, there's all these Clarisonics. Don't they all just clean your skin? Like, which one do I really need to pick a specific one? Don't they all do the same thing? So if you had that question, like I did, because honestly I didn't know a whole lot about Clarisonic other than that it's a skin cleansing brush, you can go to their website, and I'm pretty sure they have a quiz. I think I did one. So there's that. So the first thing I did when I got my Clarisonic in the mail was I downloaded the app and I put the serial number in because I wanted to make sure that this was an authentic cleansing brush, and it was. So win-win there. But my very first impression was, you know, you've got the brush here, you've got, well, I don't know, this is probably the brush, I don't know what this would be actually called, like handheld Clarisonic device, I don't know. Anyway, so I feel so stupid, to be honest, because first of all, I broke my brush head trying to get it on, because so there's like these little knobby things in here. First of all, you should probably not pay attention to anything I'm sharing with you, because this is what got me into the mess in the first place. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, well, how does this work? That's where my brain goes. Instead of just like, you know, following directions and like, you know, actually putting it on, like it's on right now. Instead of actually doing, just, you know, not really thinking about it, I started analyzing it because that's what I do. And I'm like, okay, so there's like these little like metal knobs, and then there's like these grooves on the side. So I need to get the grooves in here, and I think it does work like that, just on its own. Like, don't think about it and try to like match it, because it just doesn't work. So pretty much you just, so my whole issue, I kid you not, I spent 30 minutes trying to get this brush head on, and it was just not working for me. And I'm like, this does not look right, because like it would sit on there. Like, this is how I kept dealing with it, was like, I don't know if you can see the difference, but like it's like there's a magnet there, so it like sits on the magnet, and so I could get it that far, but like I was scared to press down because I thought I was going to break it. So I literally thought that this was it, when really you have to push in and turn, and now it's in. So in case any of y'all have that issue. But yeah, I know it's but yeah, my whole issue is that I was trying to match up the little grooves. But anyway, in case any of you have this issue, so that was kind of a bummer, because I'm like, I'm not stupid. Clearly, I don't know, I just felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too analytical, I guess. But that was number one. My first impression was like, this is kind of crazy that I'm having so much difficulty with this. So finally, once I actually got it and I used it, there's like, for sake of time, not going to do it, but when you push the button and you turn it on, and it automatically goes into a certain cycle. And so it basically, what ends up happening is it'll do 20 seconds, stop and beep, 20 seconds, stop and beep, 10 seconds, stop and beep, 10 seconds, stop and beep. And basically, every time it stops and beeps, it means that you're supposed to move to a different spot on your face. And they give you tutorials, they give you all these videos, like, this is how you use your Clarisonic. I didn't watch any of them, so I'm like, I can figure this out, how hard can it be? So I'm, you know, doing my face thing, doing my thing. And I get to this beep and I'm like, that's weird, why is it doing that? I didn't know it did that. And so finally I figured it out. I did some research, watched the videos like you're probably supposed to do, and realized that you're supposed to, that you move to, you know, the different spots on your face after the beep. So basically, what you're supposed to do is do 20 seconds on your forehead, 20 seconds on your nose, 10 seconds on this cheek, 10 seconds on this cheek. And apparently somehow fill in, you know, your chin and whatnot, and like, you know, your jawline and stuff in the process. So I didn't really do that because that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Maybe it's because it's your T-zone, but I kind of am doing and started out doing 20 seconds on my cheek, 20 seconds on my cheek, 10 on my forehead, 10 on my nose. That just made more sense to me. I mean, your cheeks are the bigger area of your face. Why wouldn't you focus on that? But clearly Clarisonic knows best, and they focus in skincare, so they must know. So I wish that there was a setting that you could, you know, turn the different timing settings off on your Clarisonic. And I looked into it a little bit and didn't find any results. So if you know how to do that in an easy way, let me know, because I think I would like to have it turned off and kind of do my own thing. I think I know what works best for my face, my skin, and my preferences. And it's also really kind of, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also difficult when you're using the foundation brush. I feel like it would just be easier if I didn't have the beeps and the stops in there as well. So that is that. as far as this little guy goes, so my preferences, I do not like I don't like foundation brushes. Like doing my foundation and my makeup, like I don't want to see streaks, I don't want to touch the makeup because I don't want my hands getting icky, which sometimes like if I'm playing that's fine, but like on a regular day where I'm going out and about, I don't want to carry around foundation all over my hands, and I'm not always going to be running to the bathroom after I do my makeup, so the less that I get on my fingers the better. So I'm not a huge fan of my fingers, not a huge fan of brushes because of the streaks. I also think no matter what the brush, it's extremely hard to get foundation out of the brush. It's just extremely hard to clean it. I think that the best way to do your foundation is simply by using a beauty blender. You know, I think that is just the best go-to for doing foundation. So here's my personal thoughts on this guy, which remember, this is the whole reason why I got the Clarisonic brush in the first place, was because of this. Because I saw someone use it and really, really recommended it, liked it a lot, and so I was like, maybe this is the thing of my dreams. So I spent so much money for this. My thoughts. First of all, it's a brush. I still find it difficult to clean. I don't think it's as bad as some other brushes when it comes to cleaning, especially because, little known fact, at least I've heard it's a little known fact, I saw this when I was learning about Clarisonic and Clarisonic brushes, but you can pop it out, and you can pop it, and this is another thing, like, it's cool, but I don't really get it. Like, so you put it on there, you don't have to have this little guard thingy, and it's supposed to be able so that you can get in closer around your nose, like that's the intention of it. But I don't see what the difference is between them. Like, sure, if you have it off, you have it on, it's still the same distance away. I don't see how it's really helping you get any closer to your nose. Just my initial thought. So, you know, no big deal. Then you can pop it back out and pop it back in. And supposedly, I think all of the brushes are. So, there you go, back in. All of them do that. They're all designed that way. Oh, I forgot to tell you earlier. So I told you I broke the brush, and you're like, how'd you break the brush? Well, because it's a Mia Smart, like this particular, what is it called? Daily Radiance. This particular brush head, I'm pretty sure is brand new. It just came out for the Mia Smart. So like, this didn't exist prior, and I think this is specifically designed for the Mia Smart, and it had, this is how I broke it, it had this little like metal doohickey down here, and I thought, like, because I couldn't get the brush head on originally, that it was like, maybe I'm supposed to take that out, because it was like kind of like this plastic metal thing. Well, plastic and metal, I get, contradict each other, but like it was like one of those metal things that's not really like, kind of like it's bendable, it's just not like a serious metal piece. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure you probably know what I'm trying to describe though. In any case, I took it out because I thought maybe it was blocking it. Well, come to find out, and not that this really matters, I actually think it would kind of bug me, but it's supposed to be able to tell your app that your brush needs to be switched out for a new brush head. So every 3 months you're supposed to replace your brush heads with a new brush head, which, I mean, they have, every makeup product has an expiration date, and I couldn't list them all off the top of my head. But you know, you're only supposed to keep cosmetics for a certain amount of time, and then you're supposed to get rid of them. But if we're being honest with ourselves, I'm willing to bet not all of us stick to those expiration dates. Like, who doesn't have an eyeshadow palette or a lipstick that they haven't completely used? I mean, I don't think I've ever gone through an entire lipstick or an entire, I take that back, I've gone through lip sense tubes. I've never gone through an actual lipstick tube. And I don't think I've ever gone through an entire like eyeshadow palette. So, you know, I have stuff that's been sitting around for a while. So my point is just that, like, I don't think we really stick to them. That doesn't mean we shouldn't stick to them. I just don't think it's the most realistic. So I don't know how realistic it is to think that everyone's gonna replace their brush heads every 3 months. Because if I'm being honest, I'm probably not gonna be sticking to that, you know, routinely. And I don't want to be bugged every time I use my Clarisonic. You need to change your brush head. So maybe it's not the worst thing. I guess that's some info. If that does bug you, I guess you can remove that guy. So that is the dealio with that. It stopped recording on me. Oh, okay. I don't remember where I left off. Yeah. So overall thoughts and opinions, like I said, can't compare the Mia Smart to any other Clarisonic to really tell you if this is great compared to the other ones. If it's worth, you know, if you buy all the Clarisonics, is this one worth it? Can't tell you that because I've never had a Clarisonic before this one. But if you are wondering if you should get a Clarisonic and if you should get this foundation brush and if it's worth it, here is my overall opinion. I would not buy the Clarisonic just for this like I did. I think that as far as blending foundation, it doesn't do a bad job. I think that I still use just as much foundation because they say that this is supposed to use less foundation. I think that that's the claim for like so many different, you know, blenders and brushes. Like, it uses less foundation, like, buy my product. Well, I don't feel like this does that. I think I still use the same amount of product. I think it helps, like originally I was squirting the product onto the brush and I watched my tutorials and they had placing at different spots on your face, which I think it works better, but I'm touching the product and I don't want to touch the product. So, for that. I think it does a nice job blending. If you have too much product, you get brush streaks. If you don't have an excess amount of product that you're using, I think it blends really nicely. Do I think it's worth it for the cost of this, plus having to have this? No. I love my beauty blender, you know, for the price. I mean, given beauty blenders are still a bit pricey, but like, I mean, $20 compared to this, what are you gonna do? For the price, definitely the beauty blender. So I would not get it for this. That doesn't mean this isn't nice. It doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily do a good job. I just wouldn't invest the money in it again. So yeah. However, I was surprised. I mean, given Clarisonic skincare, it's what it does best. I would not necessarily avoid buying this again. I'm glad I have it. I feel like you have to be really interested in skincare, really invested in skincare, to really value putting the money into a product like this. If skincare is important to you, go out and get it. I feel a difference in my skin. I notice a difference in my skin after I use this. I can't say long term. Again, I've only been using it, as the app says, for about 7 days. But I really like this as a cleanser, you know, as a cleansing tool, a skincare tool. And how this compares to, like I said, other Clarisonics, I don't know. the smart aspect of it is nice. I haven't found it as useful personally. I feel like it's missing some, and I couldn't even tell you what it is. I just feel like the app could be a lot more useful than it is. So, do I think that you need a smart Clarisonic? No, not necessarily. Is it nice to have? Sure. Do you want a Clarisonic that can have all the different brush attachments? I mean, from my perspective, if you're going to be investing a lot of money into something, you might as well get as much as you can out of it. So if you're interested in skincare and you think you're going to use other brush heads, then invest in a brush like this, which I don't think that I think this brush is pretty middle of the road as far as price is concerned. It might be a little pricier, but I know it's not the most expensive of their line. So, I don't really know what to say beyond that. I like it. I'm glad I have it. Will I go out and reinvest in another one? I might, but I wouldn't do it for the foundation brush. I think my Beauty Blender got it nailed. So, with that being said, I think this is a wrap. So, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me for a bit. I hope this review was helpful for you. And yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content. Give it a like if you liked it. And going through the rest of the spiel, I have other channels. I have a vlog channel and I have a lifestyle channel, so if you want to come hang out with me on the day-to-day, or if you want to come talk about other life stuff with me, here are the channels you can find me on. And yeah, this is my beauty channel and all things beauty. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.